What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat. We're here at the Nerd Castle and we are playing DayZ Standalone. This is a game that I've been waiting for with some apprehension. I've been excited about it, and so I decided now that it's released as of December 16th to the Steam store for $29.99, insert plug and jingle there, that I'd show it off here at the Nerd Castle. Now, you will notice that it's nighttime. Unfortunately, I've been through about 50 servers. Every single West Coast server is nighttime, even though it's morning, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I'm going to assume that they're set to go daylight around the time everybody gets off work at like 6. That would be my estimation, but we're somewhere, I think we're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, somewhere to the west of below the airfield maybe. There's a bunch of people running around this town down here. We are playing on a server that has a lot of people on it, so we're going to want to play carefully. But the game is pretty sweet as of right now. I'm going to try and keep this video somewhat short and to the point because, honestly, most people don't want to see you run around scavenging for loot that long. They want to see interesting things that have all been edited together. But as it stands right now, there's a couple people in this town. I've seen them running around with their flashlights sort of haphazardly, not really caring what happens to themselves. And one of them, from what I can tell, has a gun, which makes me incredibly nervous. Now, he pointed it at me, but he didn't shoot, which leads me to believe he doesn't have any ammunition. He's just sort of running around with an empty gun, because he had me dead bang. And knowing DayZ like I know DayZ, 99% of players would have shot me in that instance. Now, I am carrying a fire extinguisher that I managed to find, so we do have sort of a weapon. But this place, from what I can tell, is really picked clean. There are quite a few players, and I'm thinking we're probably going to have to go inland a ways before we're going to find anything useful. So let's cram open the door. I want to drink something. Well, I just drank a soda. I don't know why you're so upset. I do miss the old meters that tell me what I need to sate, what my different statuses are, whether or not I'm hungry, thirsty, sleepy, bashful, doc, so forth. Oh, Christ, I think that's a zombie. What is that? Okay, so this is my first encounter with one of the new zombies. We'll figure out how well they hear as of right now. If I don't have any bandages or anything of that nature, so getting wounded would be a terrible plan at the moment. I'm going to try and sneak around him. I do have some light food provisions. I've got a can of tuna and I've got something else that might be useful in the future. But for now, I'm thinking our best plan of action may be to go inland. I'm willing to bet a lot of people are making a move on the airstrip right now just to grab whatever military gear they can get, and I'd be more than happy if we could find a crossbow, a shotgun, or even a Makarov, any tiny little protective measure that I could headshot zombies with. The animations, as you can tell, I mean if you can tell from the way this video is working right now. Oh, and there we go, I've got a text message. It is noob central right now. Anyways, as I was saying, I would love to get any protective measure at the moment, although my relative inexperience with the map after so long not playing is going to leave me probably running through the hills here trying to figure out what there is to do. Let me swap back into run mode so that we're not being completely useless here. I'm going to try not to overexert myself. But as you can tell, the game runs fairly fluidly. The textures have been updated. The inventory system is a lot better as well. Let me hit the tab key. Here it is, and everything has been swapped over to a drag and drop interface. I found these super bitchin' Kanye West shades while I was running around. How awesome is that? I also found a beanie. I didn't come with those, but there is a lot of random customization gear laying around if you're lucky enough to be on a server that hasn't been picked clean as of yet. But since we're contending with a lot of people, I would place my bets that a lot of the stuff's going to be missing. Let's check this little house over here. I've got my fire extinguisher at the ready. It's the only weapon I've been able to find so far, but it's better than nothing. We can at least swing it and kind of half-assedly try and save ourselves if anything aggroes us. Is that a well? If that's a well, I'd like to get a drink because she's saying she's thirsty. No, that well's not going to work. Never mind. I do have a flashlight. What is that? There's something on the ground right here. What are you? You're bugged is what you are. Let me loot you. Well, I can do it this way. Is that a helmet? Oh, that is so badass. A badly damaged motorcycle helmet. Well, we've now got a motorcycle helmet on. I don't know what function that's going to serve for us, but we've got one. How do I loot you? You, go into my inventory. I command it. Splatter wills it. Well, the menu doesn't seem to be loading. It's taking its sweet-ass time. Well, then to hell with that. I want my beanie back then. Let's see if maybe I can open up this backpack somehow. I've got a backpack in my backpack, which makes me think I should probably drop that. There we go. So my backpack in my backpack. I figured it out. I can do this. I believe. I do hear the sound of a zombie, though. Let me get my fire extinguisher back out here. so that I might extinguish his flame, should I need to. His nasty zombie flame. Zombie flames stink really badly. I don't know if most people know that, but a zombie flame, it has a lot of methane in it. There's just methane everywhere, making it stink like crazy. Let's see if we can break our way into this homestead. It looks like we can. Most of the houses appear to have been retrofitted. The game does use a lot of the Arma 2 assets, so if you haven't checked this out yet, it uses a lot of the same assets that you would expect. A green raincoat. Hell yeah, I'll take a green raincoat, why not? It might get rainy, and then we're going to be up Shit's Creek without a paddle. What is that? A radar cap. We already have one of those, so I'm going to leave that behind so that somebody else can beanify their head should they desire to. Can I open all these doors? I can! Wow, amazing. I am so glad that we can wander through, and that looks like a pack of matches sitting on that desk, so let me... If you can't get at them, that is a pack of matches, but it's not showing up in the vicinity. They did give you kind of a rough loot system. Let's put on our raincoat. Hey, put that on. There we go. So now we've got a raincoat, so I don't know if that's going to affect the way that we heat up while we're running around, but our breath is fogging, which makes me think that it's probably sort of cold out. That door looks like it's bugged, so there are things in the game that are not working at the moment. The sound of that zombie is making me nervous. Let's have one last look around. It doesn't say if there's anything in my vicinity here. We can't search through the bureaus or anything like that yet. Hopefully that'll be added in the future so you can rifle through some drawers. Because everybody here at the Nerd Castle loves feeling their way through somebody else's drawers, if they can get away with it. Let's go and take a look at this sign and figure out where we might be at. I hear the sound of a zombie. It's making me nervous, so I'm gonna move on ahead. Where in the hell is that zombie at? Okay, so it says Coma Pobo. I know those words don't make the right phonetic sounds for English, but I'm just going to pronounce them as I see them because it makes me happy to do so. And we'll head off to... We have no water. That's the main thing that I'm worried about right now. I'm not trying to die of thirst here on screen in my first episode. This is the first time I've ever played DayZ with you guys, and I would really prefer not to die in a completely noobish way before we go any further. I guess... It looks like there's more stuff to loot over there, including a barn. Barns tend to be really good locations for tracking down guns. I don't need to tell you guys the basics of gameplay. I'm willing to bet you guys have played far more DayZ than I have. DayZ was one of those games for me that I've played probably about 60 hours worth, 70 hours worth, but I stopped playing because all my friends stopped playing, and if I don't get to play this game with a group, I just don't have quite as much fun. Now, one of the benefits of LPing a game like this, or doing a first impressions review preview for the alpha, is that I'm sort of sitting in the room with you right now. I'm playing with dozens of friends, we're checking the game out, we're having a good time, and so it's almost like playing with friends. You guys will probably see most of the threats before I spot them. Our character is sounding quite winded, which is, she breathes like a man. I didn't pick this setup, by the way. My character looked very, very different, and then when I zoned in, it gave me the default character, so I'm not going to cry about it. But it is what it is. Just know that I didn't pick this character. Our last few characters have been female, and so I decided I was going to do a male character this time. But alas, the wide hips give testament to the fact that the game has decided that I'm going to be female and I don't really have a choice in the matter, which is sort of scary. They've sort of gone and taken plastic surgery to a forcible, well, it's become quite aggressive. They have aggressively forced femininity upon me, and I'm not so happy with that situation, but not gonna bemoan it either. This field is looking fairly empty. I am aware of the fact that there could be somebody hanging out at that barn over there with a shotgun just waiting for us to walk through the door, but we have nothing to lose, and if you've watched my Nether playthrough at this point, you will know that as I play survival games, I just plain don't care. If I die, I don't get too tied to my character even if I have badass loot, because for me, 99% of the fun is accumulating all the cool gear, it's not maintaining it. If I die and somebody else has a little bit of fun with the gear that they looted off of me, that's good enough for me, and I think that's the right attitude to have when you play a game like this. You've just got to accept that death is coming for you at any moment. There's the red building over there. And so, red building, I will get to you just a moment. I will rifle through you. I will be all up inside you, red building. But you're going to come second. I want to get all up inside this barn and just fist my way through it at the moment and grab all the goodies we can feasibly find. I was a little skeptical when I first started playing because the Arma engine is not conducive to the gameplay that they're trying to force with this. But I will admit, through the 45 to an hour that I've played so far that the game does play much more smoothly than its mod counterpart. I am pleased to report. I am an ultimate cynic when it comes to games like this, so I am always happy to find that my doubts have been refuted, or at least rebutted in a suitable fashion. What in the hell was that? Maybe we should take a knee. Let's get low. I think a zombie may have just tried to attack me through a wall or something. I'm not positive, but he made like a little ack sound, and anytime zombies go ack at me, it makes me nervous. I want them to go ack when I shoot them with bullets, but other acks are completely and totally off limits. Nothing up here. And I don't see anything on the other side. These barns are usually pretty good. They tend to be where I get a lot of my early game loot, so we may be just kind of SOL. I think there's 25 people on the server right now. At least there were when I logged in about 45 minutes ago. Which means most of these coastal areas are likely to have been plundered at this point. I've also not run into any of those bugs from... What in the hell is going on out there? I am so scared to stick my head out right now. Well, I don't see anything as of yet. If I'm playing in third person and it bothers you, I apologize. I like to play this game in third person because deep down at heart, I like having an edge up on people that are playing in first person. If they force me to play in first person, I will. But for now, I keep hearing zombies, but I don't see them anywhere. Zombie, make yourself known for the Emperor. Sounds agitated too. Or as though he has a fairly terrible case of tuberculosis. One of the other. I'm gonna head into town now. Forget it. We're just gonna run around. We're gonna play on the edge. If we get shot, we get shot. I don't care. I've got a fire extinguisher, and if I find another player, I think I'm gonna take the stance right now that I'm just gonna murder everybody that I come across. I'm gonna take that oh-so-familiar stance that most DayZ players take, and just murder the first thing that comes to mind. That building right there, I don't know if they've changed it for the standalone, so there's sort of a little bit of a shift in playstyles right now because I'm not sure if I should play the same way as I do in the mod by hitting red buildings only and then ignoring everything else, or if there are goodies to be found in all of these outlying buildings that they've retrofitted and made modern. I would think that everybody else is doing the same thing that I'm doing, running around to red buildings trying to find those goodies in much a similar fashion. Is that a water barrel? It looked like it had a... No, that's a trash can. Trash can, water barrel, it all looks the same to me. I have a flashlight, so if this episode ends up being way too dark for all of you, let me know and I'll use the flashlight, but we can't attack things with a flashlight, which is why I've decided to avoid it for now. It doesn't look like there's anything in my vicinity. Oh, another radar cap. Oh, my shirt has pockets. That's badass. That's a really cool addition. Okay, so you can get cargo pants and things of that nature too to help you carry stuff around. That's a big bonus. I like that. I don't see anything useful here, so I'm gonna bail out. Let's jump the fence. These buildings right here, which everyone will notice from DayZ, the mod are now lootable. You can get up in here and there's a door that will open inside of it. Seeing as the door is already open, my guess is that we're probably not gonna find anything in here, but for showcasing purposes, it's kinda cool, right? I keep thinking that hole in the floor is a candy bar. That's a weird thing to jump to because a hole in the floor is a hole in the floor, but for whatever reason my brain keeps being like, candy! Oh, flashlight. Somebody's over here. In that military tent too. Shall we investigate? Let's investigate. We have nothing to lose. We have a fire extinguisher. We are pretty much the antithesis of things to lose right now. I don't recognize where I am. Oh, I'm at the Belota airfield. Damn. That flashlight is very likely sitting on the floor then. Let's be quick about this. Since we're in a very volatile location, I want to make sure that we're in and out very, very rapidly. We want this to be a quickie. We want this to be the afternoon delight of raiding. That flashlight is more than likely laying on its side inside this fenced off area. We need to find a hole in the fence before we can go any further. There we go. Found our inn. Let's do it. Dun 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 dun. I don't know why I'm doing the Rolling Thunder music. My guess if I had to put out a hypothesis, is that we may find some goodies in here. Some brown jeans. Well, hopefully they're not browned jeans. If somebody's already browned them, I don't want them anymore. However, if they're safe... Ooh, there's some Adidas trainers right there. I would take the black jeans. I'm more comfortable with the black. I am slightly worried that the brown jeans come with an addition. They're coming with a little bit of somebody's leftover tail. So far... Oh, I'm closing that door. Hey, the door didn't murder me. That's a plus. Well, it looks like there's mostly pants left in here. Zombie, stop that. You stop that right now, zombie. I don't have any bandages, so if you make me bleed, I'm probably just gonna sit around and bitch and moan until I die, if I'm being honest about what's going to take place following that particular activita. Well, the server has popped out. Oh, Christ. Well, at least he didn't try and murder us. That's a bonus. Could be worse. She's now telling me that I need a drink. Balota Airfield looks much, much different than I remember. I don't know if we're going to be able to assume that since that guy took off running, he's already looted everything from here. He had a military backpack, and I would have liked to have tried to murder him with a melee weapon and take his stoof. But unfortunately, it wasn't really an option. He was moving super fast. That guy has been working on his cardio. He has Rule 1 locked down. We can do a little bit of sprinty action if we do that right there, but I'm willing to wager. I think we may end up with a little bit more tiredness. I feel run down, yeah. So I'm going to avoid sprinting around for the greater proportion of our gameplay. Now, as I recall, there's a little village up behind Balota Airfield that might have something useful for us. We'll take a look around. Since we're already here and we're already risking our lives just being here, we may as well take a little looky-loo around and see what's on offer, but that dead zombie right there is not a good indicator. Jail cell's empty. What is that? A flashlight. I'll take it. We already have one, but I'll take another one. Taking lots of just ridiculously terrible loot. That's how I like to punish people that kill me. Then they have to filter through all my terrible, god-awful loot. Like, why does this guy have 600 flashlights in his backpack? Just for this purpose. You killed me, asshole, and now you get to look at my terrible, terrible loot. There's another pair of trainers. We've already got shoes on our feet, though, so I'm not going to take them. This has been an all-around miserable loot run. Maybe I should head inland, but without water, I always feel nervous about it. I don't want to end up dying of thirst. We'll hit the village up that way right after we hit Balota. I keep hearing the sounds of zombies, but their audio file appears to be bugged. The game is quite rudimentary at the moment in the way that there are a lot of alpha bugs running around. I haven't hit too many, but the zombies, they just seem to be really, really sparse, and when you do find them, they don't appear to work very well. Zombies, they're not known for their work ethic. They're just clocked out. Clocked out all the time. Nothing in there, so we'll check this hangar. I don't see anything laying around on the ground. The contrast is usually fairly stark, so I guess we'll bail out of here. Let's quit ourselves of this place. And as I recall, there may be a hole in the fence back here where I can escape through. That's if they've left it. Yeah, so there it is. The zombie is still screaming his head off. I don't know where he's at. We'll check these garages before we go anywhere else. Yep, nothing. Looted clean. Let's head inland. I'm feeling very negative about our prospects for finding a weapon right now, so duck through there. It looked like that plant right there was bananas on the ground. That or a well-laid dog turd. Which of the two? I couldn't tell. It's dark out. My mouth feels dry. I know. Stop complaining. Our character is just... I bet she's not fun to be around. She's being a complainy pants. A complainy pants, whiny face. There's another raincoat maybe, or some pants. Some pantalones. I've suffered many's the death up in this tower. So I'm going to try and be quick about this. Looks like there's a potato or something sitting up on top of that cabinet. What is that? It said there was something I could take. Hold on, let me figure this out. A rotten kiwi. Sure. I'll take the rotten kiwi. I love kiwis. I have many friends who are kiwis. I don't care if they're rotten. I'm rotten too. We're all rotten deep down when we're playing DayZ. This game is like Sociopath Simulator 101. How to be a sociopath in 45 minutes. Let's head up to this little farming village. Once we get there, we'll have a look around, see if maybe I feel dizzy. That's not good. Once we get up and in there... Well, there's one more building. Should I check it? What do you guys think? Yeah, let's... Part of me wonders if he's underneath me, underneath the map collision, and that's why that sound is just following me everywhere. But who has any clue at this point? Let's head inland. Once we get up and in here, I've almost unanimously found weapons up in this village because most people are too busy plundering their way through the airfield to mess around with it. This is usually a pretty good place to grab yourself a Mac, grab yourself, not a Mac-10, a Makarov, grab yourself maybe a hunting shotgun. I found a crossbow up in here multiple times. I digress. My point is that there are a lot of weapons up here normally. Once again though, all bets could be off. We're not playing the mod anymore. Somebody else got there right after we did. He's panning his way around. As you can tell, the flashlights, they shine through the buildings, which is sort of strange. That leads me to believe we should probably hustle to get up here because most people are going to do what I did after they get done at Balota. They're going to say, damn it, there's nothing here, and they're going to come up to this little farming village. I think this is right about the place I'd like to break off this episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerd Castle for this first look at DayZ Standalone. Rocket has been working on it diligently, and I'm glad to say that it's now available for our consumption. I'm having fun with it. I'll be playing it quite a bit in between now and the future. I've been waiting for it to come out for a long time. I didn't get lucky enough to join in the closed alpha. So here we are. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and farewell.